Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I wanna present my research with the title Recession and Recovery from the Pandemic. In first slide, uh, first is introduction. This article discusses the relationship between the COVID-19 pandemic, economic recession, and inequality. The authors developed an SIR macroeconomic model to analyze the implication of virus detection and inequality on economic and health consequences during a pandemic crisis. They find that there is two-way relationship between the pandemic recession and inequality, with each exacerbating the other. However, accurate and extensive testing can break this vicious circle and improve the mitigation effect. Second slide, there's any research methodology. The research methodology used in this article is the SIR macroeconomic model. This research uses empirical data and calibrates parameters to produce quantitative analysis. This research uses global empirical data from world development indicators to analyze the relationship between economic inequality, virus detection, and economic growth during the COVID-19 pandemic. And the variable is virus detection rate and inequality as variable Y, economic growth as X1, infection probabilities as X2, aggregate consumption as X3, labor hours as X4. The impact of inequality on economic growth during the COVID-19 pandemic. Inequality worsened economic growth during the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly affecting vulnerable households who rely on a single income source. Studies indicate that higher income inequality leads to more significant economic losses and a slower recovery. In essence, income inequality exacerbates the recession and hampers the economic recovery process in pandemic times. Next slide. This is the SIR macro model combined virus detection and income inequality to analyze the impact of the pandemic. The SIR macro model incorporates virus detection and income inequality to analyze the impact of a pandemic. It categorizes households into wealthy and poor types, reflecting financial vulnerability and wealth distribution. The model also explores how extensive testing can reduce infection and speed up containment. It highlights the importance of testing in pandemic response. Additionally, the model studies the interaction between virus detection and income inequality, showing that inequality worsens economic loss and slow recovery. However, extensive testing can help mitigate these effects, benefiting both the rich and the poor. In the next slide, the relationship between virus detection and economic recession. The relationship between virus detection and economic recession is that extensive virus detection can mitigate the magnitude of the recession during a pandemic crisis. Accurate and widespread testing help identify infected individuals, leading to prompt isolation and treatment, which reduce the transmission of the virus and helps contain the spread of the pandemic. Studies have shown the presence of virus detection can dampen the decline in aggregate consumption and labor hours during a pandemic recession. The detection of infected individuals allow for their quarantine, preventing them from working and limiting their consumption. However, the overall impact on the economy and health outcome is significantly smaller with virus detection compared to a scenario without any testing. The conclusion, the COVID-19 pandemic raised challenge for the economic research to address both the economic and health consequences of the crisis, resulting in the publication of studies addressing the interesting interaction between the epidemic and the economy. This paper furthered that literature by addressing an additional set of important implications of the pandemic crisis and shedding light on the recession and recovery of the crisis. Although The study is motivated by the COVID-19. We take it as an example to share light on how to promptly respond to a general epidemic. To study the economic and health consequences of an epidemic, we develop a SIR macro model with virus detection and income inequality for households. Essentially, we find a two-way relationship between the pandemic situation and inequality, both of which can exacerbate one another. Thank you. That's my presentation. And my name is TEMPUH KUSUMA DONI. Thank you very much for the time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.